Hello. We are both from Carmarthenshire County Council, and we both work within the Learning Disabilities and Mental Health Day Service. I'm the Operations Manager and Rachel is the Community Business Manager. We're just going to tell you a little bit about our project, which actually has become a way of being at the moment. So it's called the Community Inclusion Tree Nursery and Food Production, but I'll tell you how we started. We all went on the residential course. Like Verity, we didn't know what we were going to do, and then we came up with something which was recycling paper bricks. And we were really thinking, oh, this was such a good idea. But then Sergio said, is that it? And we thought, well, yeah, I suppose we could do something else really as well. So we went back to our bases and we sort of looked at what we had in our services. And what we had was a lot of people with a lot of enthusiasm. And when we asked particular groups of people, they decided what we should do. So we went back to the group and there was this light bulb moment. We looked at recycled wood, we looked at grow our food, recycling plastics. There was a huge range of things that we decided to do. But our broad aim was reducing our carbon footprint in our Inclusion Day services by planting trees, reducing plastic, only using recycled paper and recycling wood. As you can see, this is one of our day services which had an awful lot of land and we were missing some great opportunities. So after discussions with our group, we looked at the possibility of develop a tree nursery, grow fruit and vegetables. The sort of direction, we decided the direction we would take would be to develop a tree nursery. We identified we would need support with this, and this came in the form of another person on our cohort, which is Ella, who is a carbon officer, which you've already seen, and she introduced us to a variety of different people, which one being the Botanical Gardens of Wales and Sustainability Group. And they made us a plan.
Basically, Ella put us in touch with the place and sustainability team within Carmarthenshire County Council, and they just came up with some amazing ideas for how we could use the land. And they also had contacts in the National Botanic Gardens, and so we had two people come down from the National Botanic Gardens to the centre in Johnstown, which is the plan that you can see there was developed by one of the people that came from the Botanic Gardens, and they just had so much expertise, so much knowledge. So we've already started doing some of the planting and growing, but in order to deliver that plan, we're going to need a grant, which our Place and Sustainability team are going to apply for on our behalf in literally the next couple of weeks. So what you can see in the picture, the pink is the polytunnels, then the yellow is accessible growing area, and then the large green circle is the tree nursery and orchard circle. To your right, then the purple, that's going to be a bog garden. The white bit you can see on there is actually the path. And one of the problems we had with that ground is, although it's a massive ground, because it was on a slope and uneven, a lot of our service users, which are people with learning disabilities, have also got physical disabilities. Basically, that ground wasn't accessible. But through this grant now, we're going to have paths that are literally going to go right through that whole ground, so make use of it. And in the middle, then, we're going to have a picnic area. So what we did next, then, was to talk to our stakeholders, our service users and their families, our staff, about what we're going to grow, because there's no point growing food that people aren't going to eat. So you basically ask them, what do you want to grow, what do you want to eat? Another thing that we kind of were advised by our Place and Sustainability team is we had that whole big ground area that you can see there and in our other centres, which was just being mown by a tractor every couple of weeks. And so they said, well, do you really need that grass to be cut? So it's now a meadow and it's just got a mown path through it. So to increase the pollinators and all that for when we're growing our food. So here's a couple of pictures of our service users, because we're starting growing already. And yeah, just I think that the response from the service users has been amazing. Got one service user, not actually the ones in that picture, who has quite difficult, challenging behaviour, who is really, really engaged, is taking a lead really on the project, and is going around with a colleague of mine, Sally, to check on people, how they're growing their things, and she's really, really has engaged with it, and it's been really lovely to see. So, where we are now, really, we're looking at our next steps. So applying for the grant is the next thing, and then also looking at incorporating circular economy principles across the project. So not buying plastic pots, reusing where we can, and then sharing the food with our staff, with our service users, and potentially the local community. I think Amelford is already sharing with food banks, aren't they? Yeah. So that's it from us. Thank you very much.